All right, so we are focusing on what it means to be an ascended woman. And so today, I thought it would be really powerful to discuss the 10 characteristics of an ascended woman. What is an ascended woman? An ascended woman is a woman who has upgraded her life. An ascended woman is a woman who knows that she can be doing better. An ascended woman is a woman who knows that she can be living better, and so she is. An ascended woman is a woman who sees her potentiality and doesn't just talk about it, but she moves into it. An ascended woman is a woman who understands that as she rises as a woman, she becomes closer to God. An ascended woman is a woman who lives by faith and is obedient and follows the instructions that God gives her. An ascended woman is a woman who is so ridiculously self-aware that no matter what's going on around her, she knows what her path should be. So that's kind of the definition of an ascended woman. But what I want you to do is get out your journal. Everybody needs to have a journal. Everybody should have a candle. Right? Yes, my dad did send a response. He has sent many responses, but I didn't get the answer that I wanted. I'm waiting for some mail. And so he went to my mailbox, which is so sweet of him, and the mail's not there. So now we're going back and forth about that. So you need coffee, you need your notebook, you need your Bible. Well, actually, we're going to not be really looking at the Bible today, but the scripture that I have decided to choose for this particular theme is Psalm 61 verse 2, which is, Lord, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. That makes sense, right? Because it's ascension. We're ascending. Pick up your mat and get a storage unit. I love you, Sarah. That's awesome, right? I need to just pick up my mat. Let me tell you, he would be all over that. He would love it if I moved here. Hello from Russia. Hello, how do you say that name? Dmitrievna. I love that. Hello from Russia. Make sure that if you're joining and this resonates with you this morning, if you're a woman who's looking to upgrade your life, like if you're tired of being where you are, like you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, or maybe you have dreams of doing more, being more, creating more, impacting more, this series will be for you. You will love it because these are things that you can apply to your life right away. I like doing these lives because every time I do an Uncommon Woman Ministry live, or an Uncommon Live as we're calling them, because there are men and women here, I give you practical tools that you can take away right away. Now, if you do it or not, it's completely up to you. But the reality is that you could take these 10 characteristics of an ascended woman and you could start applying them to your life today. And if there's something here that you feel you need to work on, then you work on that. Good morning, Jill Hart. Nice to see you, sis. Get your coffee journey, Bible, highlighter, and pens, and light your candle. Amen. All right. So yesterday I just scooted over the 10 characteristics, but today I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into them. So for my uncommon hosts, I apologize because I didn't highlight anything in the notes for you guys, which is the part that I normally have you share on socials, because when I realized what time it was, I just sent what I had. So you guys can discern what you think is powerful and what people need to see. So you guys are so lucky because I have this incredible team of moderators on here who will write the notes in the comments for you, and then you can take those notes and write them down. And then that way you don't actually have to try to figure it out on your own. They'll take the most important points and they'll support them with, they'll support them by putting them in the comments for you. Hey man, Jesus loves you so incredibly much and is so proud of you. Yes, that's right. Faithful Girl 15, Faithful Girl 5. What time do you have? So it is 9 a.m. where I am. What time is it where you are, Dimitri? What time is it where you are? So we're all curious what time it is in Russia. It's probably about 14, about 14 hours ahead. So it might be like 11 p.m. or something like that. something like that. 14, I can't remember, or maybe it's 7, depends on where you are. Okay, 10 characteristics of an ascended woman. First of all, an ascended woman isn't perfect. Oh, it's 6 p.m. Okay, so you are 9 hours ahead. So Russia's 9 hours ahead. Everybody say hi to Russia. We love having you here. Uncommon Woman is global. We have women all around the world. Do you know that there is an Uncommon Woman USA and an Uncommon Woman Australia? And of course, we want an Uncommon Woman Russia. We want an Uncommon Woman Italy. We want an Uncommon Woman Mexico. We want an Uncommon Woman China. We want an Uncommon Woman Ethiopia. We want an Uncommon Woman Honduras. We want an Uncommon Woman Guatemala. We want them all over the world. So if you are somebody who believes you are an Uncommon Woman, maybe you will be the next Uncommon Woman regional director in your area. Wouldn't that be amazing, right? All right. An ascended woman isn't perfect. She is progressing. She understands that ascension is not about status or success. This conversation is about your internal world. It is not about the external world that you're building, even though the external world that you're building will be fully and completely impacted by the woman, the ascended woman that you become. So keep that in mind. The more ascended you are, the more who you are supposed to be that you are. It is just, it's not even rocket science. It just is. The more successful your life will be. I always say to women, listen, if you do this work, all of the things that you want, the partner, the financial freedom, the impact, your health, your joy, everything, do you understand that everything is on the other side of you becoming this person? Because all we're talking about is becoming the person that you're supposed to be, the person that God has actually aligned for you. Remember that you are what? You are what? You were wired in the womb. When you were wired in the womb, that means before you were even born, there was a plan for you. So if you stay on that path, I know it's not easy and we all get off path. Let me tell you, I have been off path more times than I can say. But I'm back on my path because I recognized that the off-ramp wasn't working. It was like, why take the off-ramp if the highway is just clear? It's there. Like, why do we have to make our lives difficult? You guys, why do we do that? Why do we complicate things, right? So ascension is not about status or success. It is about continually growing in the woman God created you to be. As your faith, as her faith, if we're talking about the ascended woman, deepens, every area of her life begins to reflect the character of Christ. And this is what is so powerful, is that there's this really beautiful phenomenon that happens, that the more we become who we're supposed to be, the more Christ-like we become. It's checks and balances. So it's so beautiful to see that we could set our GPS at become more Christ-like, or we could set our GPS at, I'm just going to really focus on who I know I'm supposed to be, who I was wired as in the room. That might feel easier for us, because to be more Christ-like, it can be difficult because we don't know Christ, right? We know him through the Bible, but we know ourselves fully and completely. So we can actually say, you know, I'm going to just make this my path, make this my promise, that I'm going to be more of who I'm supposed to be, because I can feel it. Good morning, Christy C. I can feel it. I've lived in this body all my life. I have a really good idea of what does and doesn't work. And when I focus on doing the things that do work and the things that feel good, like really good, capital G, the things that feel extraordinary, the things I know are healthy, when I do that, I instantly become more Christ-like. It's just by default. To me, that feels easier than trying to be Christ-like. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to try to be me. And so that's what God is saying to us in the Bible. He's like, just listen, be obedient, do what you're supposed to do what I have planned for you, and you will live a life that is Christ-like. You will live a life that is blessed. So let's just do that. Okay, so number 1, write this down. Number 1 of the ascended woman is she believes before she sees. She believes before she sees. An ascended woman doesn't wait for visible evidence before trusting God. She knows that faith is confidence in what God has promised, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. How many times have we had circumstances around us look different than what it is that we believe it should be? And so therefore we think that we're on the wrong path, even though it could be that the circumstances are all of the right circumstances leading us to where it is we're supposed to be. We always want to be in control, yes? We always want to be in control. It makes me think of when I met my partner. I meet this incredible man. He comes walking in. He's 6'4", he's handsome, he's 61, he's got his, he's got his poop in a group, he's super kind, he's done the work, he's just beautiful, he's got this gentle energy, he's a man of God. And then I find out that he lives 5.5 hours away from me. Now, some people would have walked away and said, these circumstances aren't the right circumstances based on what it is that I want in my life. But instead, I said to him, there's a reason that this is the way that it is. And I don't know what it is right now, but what I do know is that you're the kind of man that I'm looking for, and it's difficult to find somebody like you. So I'm not going to let the 5.5 hours get in the way, because I drive, I can fly. There's lots of, he drives, he could fly. There's lots of ways that we can see each other. The circumstances don't make any sense, because often we've said, man, why do we have to live 5.5 hours away? But I know that there's a plan. And so we're just rolling with it. We're just like, this is the way it is. Now, ironically, right now, with what's going on in my life and what's going on in his life, is that the distance is okay, because we both actually have a lot going on. And so when we're together, we have focus time, but when we're apart, we're focusing on our work, on our lives, on nurturing our friendships. I've got my dad and my family. He's kind of on his way to retirement, so he's getting ready for that. He's got lots of things, house renos. So the reality is that even though it might not seem on paper like that's ideal, it's working. It's working for us. I give you that example because how many times do you question the circumstances and you assume that because it doesn't look exactly like you think it should, that you're going to step away? And then when you step away, you're right back where you were. You had everything, but it didn't look exactly like you thought it should look. Maybe God has a plan. So with he and I both, we're like, God, we are certain that God brought us together. And we've both shared that. And so, let no man put asunder what God has brought forward, right? So the reality is that we believe that God brought us together. And so we're not going to let our circumstances or convenience or our ego or all of the other things that could get in the way, we're not going to let them get in the way. So this is an invitation for you, if you're an ascended woman, to focus more on the feeling and less on the circumstances, right? An ascended woman doesn't wait for the visible evidence. She walks by faith rather than by sight, believing that God is working behind the scenes before she sees the breakthrough. The reflection here is, where is God asking me to trust him before I can see the outcome? So where is God asking you to trust him? I know that some of you recently have had some big shifts in your life, hi, Bianca. How's it going, sis? Everybody say hi to Bianca. She's the amazing photographer behind so many of the images that you see in my professional graphic stuff. She's amazing, incredible, and she's an artist. She's not just a photographer. She's actually an artist, really. So where in your life have you been questioning when actually there's a plan? And you just have to trust that God's got a plan. He's working on it while he's working on you. Maybe there's a reason that everything hasn't unfolded exactly as you want it. Maybe you're not quite ready yet. Would anybody say that they're not quite ready yet for the full picture? I could actually say right now that with the way that my life is, if my partner was living in the same city as me right now, I would struggle with distraction because I would want to be with him all the time when he's not at work. And the reality is that I have a whole bunch of stuff that I got to be working on. I've got a cafe that I'm building. I've got all kinds of stuff going on in the Uncommon Woman. I've got family stuff. I've got a lot. I'm doing a lot of building. This year's been a year of building for me because after my mom was sick and then after she passed away, it took me a little time to right my boat. Clearly, right? Because grief is a real thing. And so this has been my year of rebuilding and reinvention. And when you're doing that, sometimes you need a lot of time to focus on yourself. And when you're in a partnership, because it's what we want to do, we want to be with them all the time and we get distracted. And then we turn around and go, wait a minute, I haven't actually done a lot of the things that I need to get done. It's not because you don't want to, but it's just because there's other things around you. So truth be told, maybe he and I aren't quite ready yet for that. All right. So number 2. So number 1, she believes before she sees. Number 2, she speaks life consistently. What does this mean? Her words become instruments of healing. Listen up. Are you one of those people whose words become instruments of healing, hope, and encouragement? She refuses to partner with fear. What's your relationship with fear? Negativity and defeat. Instead, she speaks God's promises over her life, her family, her business, and her future because she understands that her words reveal what her heart believes. This is the power of words coming into play. When we are speaking life over the people around us, when we're speaking life over the circumstances in our own lives, when we're speaking life over our businesses, when we're speaking life over our friends, when we're speaking life over all of the things that are around us, what we're doing is we're breathing life into them through the power of our words. How's your mouth? Is your mouth a mouth of negativity? Is your mouth a mouth of pessimism? Are you judgmental? Are you critical? Are you the negative person in the room? Are you the half glass empty or the half glass full? How do you see life? And when people bring a problem to you, do you reframe it or do you allow them to go into the spin cycle? Because the people who speak life over things reframe. I am constantly reframing. I reframe everything. It becomes annoying for some people because I am the person who wants to reframe things so that people see that actually the circumstances that we're in aren't necessarily bad. Maybe they're just not what we want. But what about this idea? So, when it comes to my partner and I, we reframe and I say, listen, if we weren't in this circumstance, which is quite a bit of distance, but with a lot of love and really great communication, we might not be able to maintain our relationship right now because we both have so much going on. That's the reframe. So are you a reframer? Are you somebody whose words carry love and power and healing and hope? Or are you the opposite? And this is something that we have to work on. Because I know that women, we can be real nasty. We can be critical. We can say things like, I know I shouldn't say this, but, and then fill in the blanks because we're judgmental of somebody's hurt us, somebody has stepped into our relationship or done something, done dirty to us, and now we want to wish bad on them. The way that we speak life, the way that we ascend, the way that we become better people is to actually say, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to be part of that negativity. I'm not going to be part of that gossip. I'm going to rewire and reframe the way I walk through my life. Because when I do that, other people want to be around me. When people start to come to you for advice, when people start to come to you for support, when people lean on you because you speak life into them, it's a sign that you're on the right path. So the reflection here is, are my words building faith or reinforcing fear? Even with everything that's happening socially and politically right now, what's your mouth doing? How are you addressing things? What's your stance? And I don't mean politically or socially. I mean, as a human being, are you getting in the comments and trashing other people? Are you somebody who's judging those who don't believe what you believe or feel what you feel or experience what you experience? Or are you just saying, I'm in charge of me. I'm concerned about me and my life and the way that I move. And I'm not worried about the way that other people act or react because it's none of my business. It's nothing that you can control anyway. So why are you putting your time and energy into things that you cannot control? It's a big one right now because there's so much divide. So the question is, are my words building faith or are they building fear? Okay, number 3, she obeys quickly. So we're looking at the 10, just so everybody knows, we're looking at the 10 characteristics of an ascended woman. She obeys quickly. What does that mean? Not obey your partner, not obey your friends, not obey the politicians or the church people. We're obeying God. We are listening to God. Delayed obedience often becomes delayed blessing. I talked about this last week. I said, God's not going to bless what he does not want. So if you want a blessing on your relationship, if you want a blessing on your life, if you want a blessing on your health, if you want a blessing on your money, if you want a blessing on your friendships, if you want a blessing on your children, then you better be living in obedience, because he does not bless that which he does not approve of. True story. An ascended woman has learned that God's timing is perfect and that every act of obedience strengthens her faith. She doesn't wait until every detail is clear. She faithfully takes the next step God has revealed. Reflection question. What has God already asked me to do that I've been postponing? Oh, this is a good one. This is so common when I have conversations with women who want to work with me or women who I'm working with. There's a lot of delay. There's a lot of procrastination. There's a lot of digging in your heels. Put a 1 in the comments. Hi, Terry. Put a 1 in the comments if you're somebody who has been delaying. Put a 1 in the comments if you're somebody who believes that you know better than God sometimes. Come on, be honest. Put a 1 in the comments. If you're somebody who's been procrastinating, there's a relationship that you have to end. There's a person that you need to untie the knot with. There's a bill that you need to pay. There's taxes that you need to clean up. There's a business that you've been talking about but haven't started. Maybe there's a business that you need to either rebuild or close. When I owned my gym, I knew that it was time for me to actually step away. And the reality was, I was so afraid of what people would think. It took me longer than it should have. But baby, one of the things that happened was I got a mentor. And this is where mentorship changes lives. I got a mentor who stood behind me and walked me through every single step. She had done what I had wanted to do, which was close her gym. And she said, here's what we're gonna do. And we did it one step at a time. I had a conversation with every single client. She gave me the timelines. She gave me the support. I remember, you guys, quick story. I remember the first time after I closed my gym. So I closed my gym May 31st, 2015. And I ran my first live event, first women's circle, 2 weeks later, June 16th. And my coach, my mentor, her name is Lori Harder. I don't know if anybody knows who she is. You can go find her on social media. She's the one that I hired for a lot of money. I've told that story a few times, to get me from point A to point B. And this is the power of mentorship. So I was running my first live event, my live circle, and the morning of the circle, so you can imagine I had 20 women coming to the circle. First time I'd ever done it. It was going to be all about women's empowerment. It was me stepping into the work I do today. And I wake up in the morning, I check my messages, and I had a message from one of my previous clients at my gym. And her message said, "You're a fraud. I spent 3 years with you at your gym, and you were like, this is the work that I'm supposed to do. This is the work I'll always do. I always want to support women, empower women. I will never leave," which I haven't actually. I've just shifted the way that I do it. And she's like, "You said all of these things, and then you go and close your gym to become an online coach. You're a fraud. I can't wait to see you fail," is basically what she said. You guys, she was one of the clients that I had come into one of those competition cuties things, and I transformed her from like mom bod to the stage in 3 months. In 3 months, I took her from looking like frumpity frump in her moo-moo to she was on a competition stage in high heels and a bikini, and she was snatched. And yet she sent me this message because she was angry. She didn't know what she was going to do because she was going to have to go find a new trainer. So what did she do? Try to destroy me. And I remember that morning I got up and I thought, I'm going to cancel my event. I can't do this. I'm a fraud. Have you ever thought that? I'm a fraud. Who am I to take all these women through transformation? Who am I to change my career? Who am I to think for 1 minute that I can do anything more than be a gym owner? And I screenshot the message and I sent it to my mentor, and guess what she said? This is why we have mentors. You know what she said? Congratulations, you made it. When people start coming in to try to take you down, it means that you've ruffled some feathers and you've made an impact. You go out there and you tell this story at your event, fresh off the press. You're going to tell this story and you're going to show other women what it's like. That's right, baby. We can bend, but we do not break. You're going to show other women what it's like to fall and get the frick back up and keep going. And you guys, that circle, it was a 2-day women's circle. It was a retreat. 20 women changed their lives. And that was the beginning of the work I do today. And you know what's so funny? She joined Uncommon Woman about a year later, and I removed her. She joined my free Facebook group like a year later. And I had a moderator at the time, and my moderator let her in. And I said, no. I can love her, but I can love her from afar. Oh, all of a sudden you want to be in my circle. After that, no, you don't get to talk to me like that and be in the front row. You can be back there. She's come in a few times. I'm always kind, but you guys, I have boundaries. I am not somebody that needs it to happen twice. Okay, here we go. Number 4, she forgives freely. She refuses to carry bitterness because she knows it keeps her tied to yesterday. So this is actually a perfect example. I didn't carry bitterness and I forgave her, but she gets to sit on the sidelines. I've talked to you guys about you don't cut the cord, you just untie the knot. Untying the knot is I forgive you, I love you, and I'm stepping away. I'm not going to put myself in front of you to get beat time and time again. You get to do that. But you must forgive. Forgiveness is not excusing what happens. It is choosing freedom over resentment. So instead of having her in my Facebook group where I was constantly going to be resenting her, I just thought, I'll just remove her because that way I feel liberated and free in my own space. She can be out there. I didn't block her. I was just like, you don't get to be in my circle. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? She understands that she releases others into God's hands. This is me saying, God, you take care of her. She makes room for God's healing in her own heart. So by me removing her, I was making room for my healing, for my growth. You guys, it was only a year in when she came back. I was like, no. I still have some tenderness. The reflection is there anyone I need to release so I continue to rise? Who are you carrying? What are you carrying? What unforgiveness? We talked about forgiveness last week. Go to my YouTube channel. Go to Romy Marlowe _Uncommon Woman and go to my YouTube channel. You can see the replays of like 4 months of these lives, but I did a whole series on forgiveness. And it is so powerful. The first one was, I think it was like the power of forgiveness. And then the second one was the benefits of forgiveness. Oh no, the first one was forgiveness is not a gift you give others. And then the second was the benefits of forgiveness, because we think that forgiveness doesn't benefit it, but when it does, forgiveness is such a gift. Okay, number 5, she serves joyfully. Who loves to be around people? Put a 1 in the comments. TikTok, yay, thank you for all the hearts, you guys. I love you. Make sure that you share this out to your community. Put a 1 in the comments if you're somebody who loves to be around people who are joyful. Who loves to be around joyful people? Me. I don't like to be around people who are grumpy. I often will say to people, like, sit up, pull your shoulders back and smile. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, nobody wants to be around people who are, especially if you have a business. Like, if you have a business, excuse me, you better show up high and alive, because people are already struggling and they don't want to pay somebody to be depressing. Like, for real, if you, look at your resting bee face. You got to work on it. It's not just because it's your resting bee face does not mean it's okay. You need to check yourself. Look at pictures that people take of you. If you're like this all the time, then you need to work on that. Like, it's actually a skill, right? It's a skill. You need to focus on when I'm in the room, I'm going to pull my shoulders back, I'm going to smile, and I'm going to have eye contact. I'm not going to slouch my shoulders, and I'm not going to act like people just have to just accept who I am. Well, maybe there's a reason why your business isn't thriving, because they don't want to. We don't have to accept. We can say that's who you are, but I'm not going to accept you into my world. I'm certainly not going to give you my money. If you're going to be a business owner, you better act like you are the best at that in the entire world. That's how you show up. Right? And so serve joyfully. Want to do the work that you're doing. She doesn't serve for recognition or applause. She serves because Christ first served her. Whether her assignment is public or private, she brings excellence, humility, and love. Excellence. Underline that. She brings excellence, humility, and love to every opportunity, knowing that every act of service matters in God's kingdom. Like I have this, I just want to shout out to my Uncommon Host team, my moderator team. So you'll see them on here, supporting, you'll see them on here giving notes. They are heart-centered God servants. Like they come in, they're happy, they're beautiful, they're kind, they're so supportive of me, they're so patient, they're so wonderful, they're serving joyfully. Why? Because they know that this is God's work. They know that this ministry is changing lives. They know that this ministry is touching people who need to be touched by God's word. So it's so important that we serve as children of God, that we serve other people who are doing God's work. And there's so many different, thank you for the stars, Facebook and TikTok and Instagram. I love you guys. This is so amazing. It's just so important that we serve. Okay, I got to keep going here. She gives generously. Wait, you know what? I'm going to stop. I'm going to keep you guys hanging at 5, and I'm going to do the other 5 tomorrow. Maybe. Unless something else happens. I'll let you know. Anyway, okay, we're going to stop at 5 because there's 10. So we're going to review them. Number 1, she believes before she sees. Number 2, she speaks life consistently. Number 3, she obeys quickly. Number 4, she forgives freely. And number 5, she serves joyfully. That's actually a lot. That's actually a lot to digest right now. So are you a woman who is ascending? Are you a woman who's actually rising? And you got to think about a balloon. If we buy those balloons for people's birthdays, and we put a weight on the bottom of them, it holds it down. I used to have this great image on my phone. I should try to find it. It's a butterfly with a big cord and a huge rock. Has anybody seen it? And a huge rock is like the cord is wrapped around the rock. And it's this butterfly trying to fly. Anybody feel like this? It's this butterfly trying to fly. Its wings are out. Like it's already had the transformation. It's like you've already done the inner work. You know who you are. You know what you're capable of. You know that you could fly. But this butterfly has this cord that's wrapped around a rock. And the rock could be a person. The rock could be your geography. The rock could be the people around you, like your family or friends. The rock could be your financial dis-ease. The rock could be your health. Like you need to get healthy. You need to start eating well, drinking water, walking, and you need to stop eating bonbons and those sugar slushies that are straight water and sugar. Like you got to get your poop in a group. And there are things that are slowing you down. Or maybe you have unforgiveness, or maybe you haven't gotten over the death of your partner. Like you have this big rock and you just need to untie that cord and let the rock go so that the butterfly can fly, so the butterfly can rise. That's what we're talking about. The ascended woman is the woman who is ready to rise. And these conversations, isn't it a good one, Tammy? These conversations are all about the characteristics of the ascended woman and everything that she must do and be and embody to ascend fully and completely. Okay, so I think I have a little word for you here. Here's my final little message to you, okay? I want you to be considering all of this. I'm just gonna pause. I want you to consider where you would be in 6 months if you untied the knot and let the rock go. Where would you be in 6 months if you decided that as the butterfly who's ascending, that it's time to untie the knot and rise? One day, people may not remember every accomplishment that you achieved, but they will remember the faith you lived, the hope you carried, the love you gave, and the lives you helped transform through Christ. If someone followed my example, this is for you to consider. If someone say this out loud. If someone followed my example, say it out loud. If someone followed my example, would they grow closer to Jesus? Say that out loud. If someone followed my example, would they grow closer to Jesus? Whoa, that's a big one. If somebody said, I want to be exactly like you, I want to know your thoughts, and I want to do the things that you do in front of and behind closed doors, would they be closer to Jesus? That's a good one. Ascension is not about climbing above other people. It is about drawing closer to God until His heart becomes your heart, His thoughts become your thoughts, and His ways become your ways. As your faith ascends, your character ascends. As your character ascends, your influence ascends. Think about this. This is like a ladder. As your influence ascends, the kingdom advances in God's name through you. Imagine the impact. The greatest evidence of an ascended life is not how high you climb, you guys, but how faithfully you reflect Christ wherever He places you. That's when you know that you've made it. When you actually reflect Christ everywhere you go. When people want to be more like the you that they see, because wherever you go, it's a reflection of Christ. Wherever you go, you leave trails of love and beauty and faith and comfort and healing and hope. Do you know somebody like that? Do you have people in your orbit that are that for you? It's really important to surround yourself with people. This is why Uncommon Woman Sisterhood is such a powerful space. It's the membership group for this ministry, and it's for women only, but it's the space where women can come in and support one another fully and completely. It's the space where women can come in and surround themselves with other women who are really walking that path with intention and confidence and courage, because their desire is to be better at being godlike. That's so important for us as children of God. And it's really easy for us to get caught up in social media and jump into all these groups that are mixed bags. But you want to make sure that where you put your energy and where you put your finances, for example, is $29. It's an investment of $29 to be in this group, which is like less than $1 a day. But, you know, I think of all of the money that we waste at the Dollar Tree or at Starbucks or at the Circle K, and we're not surrounded. We're just feeding our pain. We're just feeding our addictions. We're just feeding the things that aren't serving us. Whereas when you put your resources into a space where you're building relationships with other women of God, you're investing in your friendships, you're investing in your growth, you're investing in your ascension. Like, this is important. So where are you putting your time, energy, and resources? Because if you were to sit down with Jesus and tell Him, what would He say? This is why it's so important to ask yourself the question. if somebody was following me, would they see a reflection of Jesus? Would they see that I was a woman of Jesus? Where I put my resources, where I spend my money, the things that I do, the things that I support. Like when women purchase Uncommon Woman boutique line products, they're supporting the Uncommon Woman ministry. I love that. But when we go to Shein or when we go to the Dollar Tree, we're just supporting the child slavery. I don't know. And I'm not saying that Uncommon Woman Boutique is the only place. I'm just saying it's an example of there are places where we can invest our resources that support people who are doing God's work or supporting people who are God's kids, right? Just like we support Real Talk Kim, right? People go to her conference to support her, to hear her, to get in her energy. You buy her books, you buy her swag, this is what we do to support people who are doing the good work out there. I look at Sarah, who's here. She's the Ache to Amen. She's got a really great, I think it's, what is it called? Divine, what is it, Sarah? Your business? She does social media. She does the social media for Uncommon Woman. And it's incredible because the work that she's doing supports people who are in ministry. And the work that she's doing supports people who are doing God's work. So maybe you guys can all put your businesses in the comments before we go. Put your businesses in the comments and just let other people see what you're doing. I love that because I want to invite everybody to do that. So we'll be back here tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard. I'm sorry if I'm late. I'm sorry that I was a little bit late this morning. So you can go to the link tree on TikTok and on Instagram, on Facebook. We'll just put a link in the comments to join Uncommon Woman Sisterhood. If you want to go to the Uncommon Woman Boutique and see the hats and the shirts and all the things, you can go to the link tree as well. You guys, I'm so grateful that you're here. Tomorrow we're going to look at the last 5 characteristics of an ascended woman. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited for each of you because I'm so proud of how far you've come, and I'm excited for what's going to happen in your lives over the next 6 months simply by following this roadmap. By being ascended women, our lives will change. Our wealth will change, our health will change, our careers will change, our businesses will change, your relationships will change. Everything that you do will change if you align yourself with these 10 characteristics. I have a ministry that's about the joy of giving. I started a project called Make a Cross, Give a Cross. I like that. I love that. Do you have a website? Put it in the comments. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I love you. Put your websites and all your social media and stuff in the comments so people can find you. I need to move on from plastic beads to gemstones. I'm dreaming big. Well, let's do it. Let's do it. You guys, I do one-on-one mentorship for women who are building businesses called Rose Gold Leadership. I have Rose Gold Reset right now, which is a 6-month journey with me. And I also have Embody, which is a 3 or 6 month journey. If you're looking for somebody to mentor you like my mentor did, to move you from here to there, to move you from good to extraordinary, to move you from I'm thinking about it, I need to do it, to it's done, reach out. Go to info@theuncommonwoman.com, or you can just DM me because I'm really good at messaging people back. I love you. Unstoppable Seams Custom Embroidery and Accessories. What? Custom embroidery? We need to talk. I'd love to know what you do. Do you have a website, Terry? Okay, everybody, I'm going to head out. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Tuesday. Have a beautiful day. Stay on comment. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. I love you. I haven't seen a similar sisterhood in Russia. It sounds interesting. Go to romimarlow.com, Dimitri. And it's an online group. We have a call tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. So we meet twice a month. Wait, maybe I'll give you guys the details. The Uncommon Woman Sisterhood. We have a Facebook group. We meet twice a month on Zoom. And there are recordings for those who can't be there, and you can watch the call. We interact in the group, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful sisterhood of women of faith. And of course, we have women from Canada, United States, Australia. We'd love to have you. It's a really beautiful space, and all of us need to have more women in our lives who are women of faith so that we can talk about the things that maybe other people don't want to talk about with us. And also, this group is such an open book. Like, we just tell each other everything. We do, and it's a safe space. So go to RomiMarlowe.com to check it out, and you can join. Love you guys. Have an incredible System Divine LLC. There it is. If you need somebody to do your social media, go see Sarah. Everyone needs a Sarah. Okay, have a great day, you guys. I love you. See you later. Ciao, ciao. Bye. Love you. Bye, Instagram. Bye, Facebook. Love you.